It's a little Chihuahua. Chihuahua. And a Maltese. Chihuahua and a Maltese? I don't know. I'm not a dog. I don't know the names of all the dogs. If you do, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, after divorce, how do you navigate the holidays? The funny thing is that when I think about navigating the holidays, I'm glad that my ex and I never had a child. It's not like we weren't trying, but God kept that door shut. As far as I know, there's a lot of scandals and lies and all this stuff going on, so as far as I know, she never was preggo. So I won't elaborate anymore. All I know is that door was shut. Or maybe not, I don't know. But all I know is there was never a child. So, I mean, with what I just said, probably speaks volumes to you. If you're watching this, you're like, man, this dude was in bad shape. So, navigating the holidays, probably if you have children, probably extra hard. But like in the front of the relationship, there was a time that, we got more serious around January in 2015, and then by the end of 2015, we were already married. Needless to say, unless you're like a seasoned professional and you know really how to vet relationships, which that's like a really important part of this whole thing, is vetting relationships when you're in the relationship. So navigating the holidays could be probably challenging for if you have to have two separate get-togethers. But since I don't have a child, well, I do have one with my first marriage, which, like I said before, I'm kind of ashamed that I've been married twice and haven't had any real good outcome. So, I mean, I joke and say, maybe when I'm in my 50s, I'll be able to do better. But anyways, that's up for debate. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about, first of all, like, I'm going to emphasize to all you who are courting or in serious relationships, the holidays, special events, all those occasions, is a very important time for you to pay close attention to how, first of all, your future mate is going to interact with your family, and second of all, is like, how are they going to adjust for your customs, for your different celebrations, a different way you do things. Like different cultures might have different ways to celebrate the holidays. So pay very careful attention to the way that you guys do birthdays, the way you guys do different events. Like, I can't emphasize that enough, because I go back to the first Thanksgiving together. First of all, even it probably goes further than that. We all talked about going to see a movie early on in our marriage. We're like, oh, let's get both families together and go see a movie. And then we're all talking, oh yeah, we're going to go to this part of town to see a movie. So my mom and my nieces and nephews went to that part of town to go see a movie. But my wife's side of the situation didn't want to go to that part of town. They never said that up front. They led people to believe, like, oh yeah, we're going to go to that part of town to go see a movie. But that didn't happen. But like my side of the family, they went to that part of town to go see a movie. And then my wife's side of the family, I went with my wife, with her side of the family, to go see a movie. And, well, I mean, up front we made plans to see a movie together, and then all of a sudden it's like we're not seeing that movie together. I think that's the best analogy to how to navigate the holidays. I mean, if you guys agree on something up front, don't backpedal, don't backtrack, don't try to make that not happen. And so later on, Thanksgiving came, and during that holiday, our first holiday as a married couple, my mom wanted me to be with her for the first part of the day, and then the second part of the day, we were going to be with my wife's family. And then my wife expected my mom to show up, but my wife at the time didn't want to go to the first part of Thanksgiving. A lot of the details are kind of foggy, so maybe if I'm wrong with any of the details, but I mean, it could have been a pretty sweet compromise. But anyways, the legend is my niece and nephew got into a orange fight. They were throwing the fruit at each other, and I guess my niece or nephew got whacked in the face really hard with the orange, and I guess anyways it just kind of ruined the plan, so they weren't able to attend the second part of Thanksgiving. But I don't even know if we were together the first part of the Thanksgiving or not. I mean, a lot of the details are foggy. So there's one thing that we got to take into consideration is it's important to take into consideration the people, everyone involved are their own individual person. So it's not like you could hold them accountable really if it's nothing that you can hold someone accountable about. Like going back to the movie. So my wife's side of the family, my ex's side of the family at the time, they might have changed their mind. It would be nice to tell everybody in the situation, I changed my mind. We're not going to go to that. I thought the dog was chasing me. I was like, that'd be pretty much a bummer. I can't run. I've been drinking coffee and kind of messes things up. But anyways, so with all that said, my point of the whole thing about navigating the holidays is that be flexible for changes. Don't be, I mean, you can have your feelings hurt, but you can't really hold a grudge. I mean, you can. I guess ultimately you could do whatever you want, but it's not going to help the situation if you're holding a grudge against somebody that did something or didn't do something that maybe you expected. So, I mean, it could cause a lot of turmoil and trouble. And I think I mentioned already in other videos, if you're ambitious, watch my other videos, because communication is key in a relationship. And listening, even though it's kind of that silly slogan about oh, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, you got 2 ears because you got to listen twice as much, whatever. You got 2 ears because you got to listen in stereo. You got to know what's coming on your left, what's coming on your right. You got to know that stuff. That's why you got 2 ears. You got 2 eyes too, because it's about sense perception, And then you got 1 mouth. Yeah. I mean, it's good and it's very important that you need to listen to what's going on. Listen to what your significant other is telling you. And don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to have an opinion until you get all the facts. Just like when you're navigating the holidays, it's like, yeah, something happened. Maybe they got a flat tire. One thing that I still to this day don't really understand is why Thanksgiving at my ex's started after 8 o'clock. And my Thanksgiving that I'm used to starts around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So again, you got to be flexible, but then you also have to take into consideration the other person. Both of y'all have to take into consideration what's going on when you're navigating the holidays. So hope that helps a little bit after divorce, and maybe even before you even get into a serious relationship.